So what's up, guys? I'm stuck in my room fighting off this bug, not much to do, and I found some little pieces of paper that I had done a little bit of work on a couple years ago. And it was while I was bored at my old job, I was deconstructing a couple of my favorite songs just to kind of see how, if there were any patterns, see how the person might have gotten from point A to point B. Because sometimes when you just look at the end product and you know what it feels like to start, it can be impossible to see how maybe you could get there, so it's easier to break it down. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to walk through a little bit of how I look at songs, and especially the longer I've been doing this, the more I've tend to look at things and dissect things as I listen to them, so this can be kind of cool, and maybe it can help you out a little bit. Now, I do want to preface this by saying this is not a music theory or professional opinion of anything. This is just my novice, here's how I look at things, this is how my brain works, so maybe that can help you. The song that we're going to be looking at today is a John Mayer song off his first album, Room for Squares, and this is one of my favorites of his because it's so simple, yet it has some complexity to it that I think can really be appreciated. It's called Back to You. And basically what I had done on this piece of paper was I broke down the structure, which will be things such as verse, chorus, bridge, refrain, pre-chorus, interlude, things of that nature. They have different names. And then I broke down the rhyming scheme of each line, essentially like your high school English classes where it was an AAB type of thing, or ABAAC type of stuff. Just different things to kind of, like I said, put some metrics on it, see if you can find any similarities. So with this one, as you guys see here, it starts off with what's considered a chorus. The song is titled Back to You, and what's interesting about this song is it's one of the songs that, instead of having where the title is used in like the last line or first line of the whole chorus in the middle of the song, it's drawn back to a few times throughout the song and changed and altered. It allows room to grow and breathe. So it starts off with saying back to you. You know, it always comes around back to you. It says what he's trying to say, but it's also very clever in putting the words and the phrasing in places where you can, certain words and phrases might have dual meaning or can be interpreted in different ways. It's the English language, it's great. And so it's fascinating to me how he was able to, just in that first little line there, almost repeat himself and not really say a whole lot, but it also does, it works. So for now, we'll just be looking at the rhyming scheme. And as I have it broken down, this line will say the oohs, the U's would be A. So back to you, and I figure this is another line. Always comes around, which will be a second sound, so that would be a B. And then it comes back to you, repeating that ooh. I tried to forget you, back to ooh, so A. I tried to stay away, that's a C, it's a different sound. But it's too late, that rhymes with the C. So he never really finishes that around. He never rhymes anything with that around, yet you wouldn't know that unless I'd pointed it out to you. What you hear is back to you, it always comes around, back to you. I try to forget you, try to stay away, but it's too late. It fits. Now, poetically, I don't know if there's a justification or a reason for that, but it's interesting to me how he's able to fit those different things in there, and I do it a lot of the time where things shouldn't make sense, but they do. And then you'll go to the second chorus here, or verse 2. Instead of saying the back to you, he plays on it, keeping the you part, but says over you. So it's storytelling, he's shifting to another perspective, but also it's allowing to keep along the theme of A, B, A, and then this one, he kind of does something different. He keeps it with the A, and the way he says me, he's very breathy, he's very meh, and so he can stretch that to be another A. So that kind of rounds it out a little bit more, where you have a little bit of the breakdown going into what's technically the verse. I kind of looked at it a different way as choruses, but it goes into the yeah. And you guys will have to listen to this. Unfortunately, I can't really play it because I don't have the copyright rights to play any John Mayer songs on here. Going into what would be the verse. Yeah. I'm so good at forgetting, I quit every game I play. So that's A. Then he's going to a B. But forgive me, love. C. I can't turn and walk away. It ties in that B, fits the ear, makes you sound, feel good, all that stuff. This way puts the nail in the coffin off that B. Then, going back to the chorus, he repeats the same 3 lines that he did in the first chorus, but the last 3 he changes them up a little bit. I walk with your shadow, that's a C. Sleeping in my bed, that would technically be a D. And then with your silhouette, he ties in that D. So you see how you can fix within the frame of this rhyming scheme where you kind of start off with the A's, but then what you put in between, as long as it's not too harsh or too against the grain, it can flow, as long as then at the end of it you have something that gives the listener some of that rhyme, that ear candy, some alliteration or whatever phonetic technique you want to use to give them something that feels good and flows into what's coming next, which would be another verse. Again, goes with the yeah, and should have smiled in that picture. If it's the last that I'll see of you, it's the least that you could not do. Then, from there, he'll go into a breakdown of a bridge where he just kind of hangs on things for a while. And John Mayer loves to get real wordy and fit a lot into a little bit, but this, he doesn't really say a lot. Leave the light on, I'll never give up on you. So that's A, B. Leave the light on, back to the A. For me too. And here on the B, he repeats that for me too, for me too. And he keeps that going, and then breaks into a yeah, backs away from the mic, goes into a really cool guitar riff. Then, after that, everything kind of calms, some instrumentation comes out, he goes into chorus 3. Back to me, changing on the main theme, but still keeping it within the realm. I know that it comes back to me, so A, B, A. Doesn't it scare you? C. Your will is not as strong. D. As it used to be. That's going back to the A. How cool is that? He doesn't do that on any of the other ones. A, B, A, C, D, A. But it really fits, and if you listen to the song, you'll see some of these things. So that's one of the first things you can look at if you're really wanting to get technical with the rhyme and how things sound and flow. Another thing, like I said, you can look at is just general structure. Now these are labeled chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, but most times what you'll see in a lot of secular music and a lot of what people will see, especially with the formula in Nashville and what's popular right now, you see verse, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, whatever people break it into like that. But it can be cool and almost like puzzle pieces to fit different pieces and fit different things in different places. If you look at one of these other songs I broke down, these have a very, very different structure. This is My Stupid Mouth, another one off his Room for Squares record. But in this, you can see he followed a much different pattern. So that's just a very general overview breakdown of what John Mayer did. And John Mayer's a unicorn. He does a lot of cool things that I wish one day I'd be able to do. But essentially from there, what you can do is just with this little exercise, you can take other songs that you like and just listen to them and have the lyrics in front of you while you're listening to them and break down each line as it rhymes and break down each part of the song in your own words. I mean, the internet and what is technically right or what is out there will be out there, but sometimes it can also be easiest to work with what makes the most sense to you. So like in this, I saw these as verses and I saw this as a chorus and whatnot. You can switch that up. You can change things in your own. There's no right or wrong. People get caught up in that. But what you can do is follow that and have those, and you're not going to do much with that, just having this piece of paper. But over time, you'll start to train your brain to look at songs, and when you start to sit down and write, as long as you don't focus too much on the specifics, you'll find ways to keep your own writing if you struggle with following a pattern, or you struggle with keeping a consistent linear story going, or things like that. Unfortunately, this isn't a writing class, but structurally, this can help you work within a frame that can keep it more, I hate this term, but radio ready, or keep it more listenable. Unfortunately, not many people are going to be able to do the long parable songs like Bruce Springsteen on his first couple records that were just, nobody knows what they're saying. But there's a time and a place, and if that's your thing, do that. But I just wanted to put this out to hope that maybe people can see things a little differently or look at songs through a different lens. And eventually, I'd like to do something working more on the actual writing of it. And there's a lot of different strategies and a lot of different philosophies you can follow. Like I said, this was a very basic breakdown, very beginner. I just wanted to set this out there because I know one of my buddies, he wants to try and write songs, but he just doesn't understand how to get from your idea to something that sounds super polished and professional. And I'm telling you, if you just put together things in more of a listenable package, that can help get you in front of a lot more people and can help get you a lot more open ears, just because of all the subconscious patterns and things that you're doing that are kind of standard, that can help kind of lower their guard and help them listen to it and say, oh, okay, I should take this seriously, rather than something that just is all over the place and just doesn't make a damn bit of sense. So that's my 2 cents. I hope that made sense. Like I said, this is my first day out of bed. I just had to do something. But thank you guys for watching, and eventually I'd like to do some more advanced breakdowns like this. But until then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and send me some of your stuff if you guys write any music, or if you guys have any questions about anything, send me some comments or messages, and I'd love to get to know you guys a little better. So take it easy.